Hey guys, I'm Guy, and there's Brian. There's Brian.
Hi.
And we're going to talk today about character sheets, design sheets. Or did you want to? We're going to talk about whatever it is Brian wants to talk about, because Brian wants to talk about something, and we weren't clear about what it was we were talking about, but we're now doing it. So there's that. So there you go. If you want to chat with us, you can join us on either one of these streams and just make comments, and we'll respond, or whenever I see it. Also, be aware that you can find us at our patreon.com/KN for Brian, and co-fi.com/GS Davis for me, GS Davis Hart, which is also on Patreon. Okay, so now that we've done that, and now my little banner is running along the bottom,
which is very freaky to see.
I'm enjoying this, man. This is really fun, but I can see this being somewhat distracting, so I'll probably turn it off at some point here. Like that. Okay. Now, Brian, you wanted to talk about character design. What did you want to talk about? Like character design or contact sheets? What are you talking about?
What do you mean by contact sheets?
Well, here, I'll do this here and I'll show you. So a contact sheet.
It sounds like those sticky sheets.
The things that you
if you want to annoy people, you just run up and slap them on the forehead with it, and it just sticks to them.
Well, that's totally what it is. How'd you guess? That's totally what it is. You're just figuring all this out. Okay, so when I do design sheets, contact sheets, they're called contact. I think that's an old term. I'm not 100% sure where it comes from.
Fair.
Oh, my computer is running so slow. Everything is just running so slow. Here. Okay. Why is nothing where I want it to be? Nothing is where I want it to be. Like, okay, here we go. Case in point. Open with Photoshop. And 2 hours later, okay, there we go. This is a classic contact sheet. So the reason I think they call it contact sheets because it's not a character sheet. A character sheet's a thing you have in a role-playing game. Right? I've got 4 constitution. I'm gonna die. That kind of thing. So, but this is a classic contact sheet or character sheet, depending on how you look at it. Is this what you're talking about? Or are you talking about actually developing the character with a...
No, I already have the character. I think this is closer to what I was thinking about the ones where they have the poses from multiple angles, but this also works too.
Well, this is there's a couple of them that I've got going on here. I'll also do this one. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
So there's a different job for each one of these. Because I've got a space saga going on here. I have a space saga. Because I've got a space saga, my space saga people all wear the same uniform. So once I've established what the uniform looks like, I don't really need to establish it again. Right? The only thing that's different from character to character will be body and face, right? Because she might be bustier, or she might be thinner, or she might be fatter, or she might be whatever. But in this uniform, she's just going to be the same. So I generally only do one of the super detailed on the uniform. I find my damn mouse. Where did my mouse go? And then here I'll go. I keep doing this the wrong way. Wasn't quite ready to do this for reasons that are still beyond me. So, for example, since the title character here is open with the title character is my main character. She's going to have all the uniform pictures, right? So I've got a front, a back, side, a detail, and then I put her into a pose.
Okay.
But I don't like to just do one straight up picture and then side picture and stuff like that. So this is kind of where I'm headed. So one of the things also that I will do, going in and looking at my morgue, I'll bring up some of the ones from other people. Where's my morgue? What'd you do with my morgue? You always hurt my morgue. Wasn't you, right? I know.
Are you talking to the cat?
I was kind of talking to you, actually. It was funny. It was funnier that way. In my head, but that, model sheets, they're also called model sheets. Like, let's take a look at Hunchback's model sheets. Like, here's Esmeralda, right, from Hunchback.
Oh, okay.
Right? What we've got, looking at this, we've got forward views, front views, side views, but this is not, we're not talking a lot about her clothing in this particular one. We certainly don't have like full bodies, except this one right here, which only shows a little bit of like the ruffling around the bottom of her dress. But everything else gets us to about the waistline where we can see her corset and things like that, which makes sense from the time. Right?
Yeah.
Here, let's do this. There we go. Here's Catgirl from Batman. Now, what I have discovered is a lot of the animations will do this. She's in the same pose. They literally just rotated her 90 degrees for each one of these. And I feel like that's a difference between television animation and movie animation as far as model sheets go.
Could be.
So what are you doing?
So if you pop over to my screen,
I'm looking at your screen now.
So I'm showing a detail of this character's arm, an anatomical study, because this character, one of her features is she almost has like Popeye arms, where they're really, really thick forearms, but that's because there's an extra bone at the side of the arm.
Okay.
That forms a shield.
Oh. Anytime anybody says forms, you have to say Voltron.
And I'll form the cod piece.
Yep.
So
what I would do, I mean, if you're up for me making a suggestion.
I am always up for you making a suggestion.
Is I would do,
because like now I'm starting to I think the other problem I've been having a consistency issue with this character.
right?
Like, I know kind of
Well,
what she looks like.
we read the model sheets. So here's what we've got going on here. We read the model sheets the way that you read a book. So putting up here, really? Okay, putting up here like a front view, because I know you're drawing like kind of rotund small people, right? So we do a front view like this, which gives us all the detail for everything about the character that you want. And then you read detail this way. So there'd be a side view here. And this is good because I also feel like one of the things you need to also discover is, do your characters, because these are all orcs, right? Or goblins.
Goblins.
Yeah, they're goblins. So do your goblins, do they walk like goblins? Do they walk like people? Do they walk like dogs? How do they walk? So if your action line's like this, you want to show the head up here, the body back here, the pelvis over here, and a leg like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You want to show this action line to show so that whenever you're drawing them, you'll remember to draw them as characters, with a head like this and the body like that, and the pelvis forward like this, and the arm like that, the arm like that, the arm like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a model sheet, you want to show some of this functionality of the body. Erase all this crap. Edit all this crap. Right, so this is enough crap that I'm just going to do this. Whoop. So your characters that way. First, let's show what their body looks like, their torso. Like this. Showing that the shoulders are up above the headline, right? And showing that the torso's here, coming out like this. Right? That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's the other problem, is I've been making these characters a little too human.
Right?
And not expressing the inhumanity of them enough.
What's your inhumanity of them? I mean, are they animals? Are they beasts?
Like, I wouldn't call them beasts. Like, it's almost like if a wolf became sentient, if that makes sense to you. Like, like they aren't really.
I'm having way too much fun with this.
Yes, you are. Like, they're beast-like, but they have a lot of like rules and formalities, but they're still very much like they're treated almost like a nuisance type thing by the other races of this world.
Other cultures in this world.
Yeah, they're not treated like a functional, reasonable race. They're treated like wolves almost, where they have a social structure, but farmers are more likely to kill them because, hey, they're killing sheep.
Right.
They're killing my sheep, so we need to get rid of them.
Do you want them to actually be wolfish, or did you want them to look wolfish, or just be treated like wolves?
Be treated more like animals than.
So the question is then, from your story point of view, do you want us as your readers to accept them as wolves right off the bat, or see them as wolves right off the bat?
Maybe. Because, like, the way I have, like, the first page set up is you can't really decipher what they're saying. But as time goes on, like, the readers are able to decipher what's being said because the goblin is learning. And, like, one of the concepts I came up with these particular goblins is that they evolve during their life and they pass what their evolutionary traits were to their offspring. So a goblin in captivity could live a human equivalent lifespan. But these creatures are so, I wouldn't say violent. They lead short, violent lives. And they breed incredibly quickly because they don't last too long.
Right.
So evolution for them happens very, very fast. So instead of, a generation or 10 or 20 generations of evolution, suddenly you start seeing small changes.
Mm-hmm.
You could see change in 2 or 3 generations.
Right. So let me go on ahead and stop you real quick because I've got to find my damn mouse. Let me stop you for just a second here and say, okay, so we've got 2 things going on. Your drawing is too detailed, and your concept is too out there. We're going to bring you back both directions and meet in the middle. Because your drawing, you're looking at like this section right here, right? And that's all you're looking at, and we're not concentrating on the what we want the readers to see.
Okay.
Because the readers aren't going to see that they've mutated in time. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to tell that by story.
Yeah. No. I get that.
And so it's not like, oh, since this creature has mutated, she's wearing sparkly things across her chest. There's no way to illustrate that. You know what I mean? So the mutations side of the story is going to have to be in the story itself. We don't need to worry about that in character design. So character design is based solely on one thing. What do you want the readers to perceive?
Okay.
And I think that you're looking at we start with, there's two masters here. There's one master is the readers, what you want them to see, and 2, what's logical, right? Yeah. I want to write a story about the Republicans and the Democrats. I want the readers to not empathize with the Republicans. Therefore, I'm going to draw them like, cavemen. Yeah, but that's not believable, right?
Yeah.
That's not logical. That's not going to make sense. People are like, it's going to make a statement. So you got 2 masters on this one. One, what makes them, what can we add to the character that would make them look animalistic so that you could say, oh, these are animals, so that your readers would believe that it's animals, right? That's why I was saying, let's go for the hunched concept, right? The hunched back, the action line that does more like this, right? With the head up here and the and the back going over like this to the pelvis area, which is right here, because this gives us the feel of animal without it being an animal. And that's not something that clothes or any amount of prettiness is going to change, right?
Yeah.
So looking at the concept of this from the top down, you start with, well, this is what we're doing with our character. Let me give an ear this way, because I noticed your ears were not horns. They were ears. Right? You got hair up here. So the key design on this one is this. We want to be animalistic, so we design the character sheet to say, we're an animal. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we make this logical. What's the logic behind this character? Right? I guess the pelvis is right here-ish to line up this way. What's logical? Once we've then cleaned up the anatomy on the character, now we know that they're leaning forward like this, and you've got that huge forearm you've been talking about, which helps. This helps immensely, right? To give that animalistic effect. You thought about putting a shell over it? That'd be kind of cool.
What?
A shell. So, like,
well, essentially, it is. It's a skin-covered shell,
right? And then
because the inside of it holds the actual arm with the tibula and fibula, so you still get the movement. But then you have the outer piece that can take the hits.
Like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Right? And then as they grow older, these shells start to weaken over here on this side, but the shell itself is still pretty solid. Anyway, so then once you've designed this, then you talk about a face, another face, and then a detail. And this detail, this is where we talk about the hand with the shell. Right? And it's design. And this way we can have
like the other thing I don't like about particularly a lot of the fantasy stuff is there's no emotion in like the ears, but I think for something that's more animalistic, having that detail where the ears show a lot of expression could be good, like a dog, almost like a dog's ear, where it like can go forward when it's on alert, backward when it's scared, that kind of thing, and kind of give it more of that animal feel. I hope that made sense to you.
Maybe. I've made sad goblin now. Like,
it's the saddest of all goblins.
Goblins are sad and stuff. There we go. Then, once we have done this, by the way, you go back in and clean up this drawing.
Hang on. All right, buddy. I'm heading over.
So I'm going to go on ahead here.
Okay.
Brian,
I'm back.
saying, oh, Brian's back. There we go.
But yeah, I like the idea of them being almost hunched.
Yeah. So now you do this, and you. What kind of things does this creature wear? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an animal skin, but maybe it looks like it's got a little bit of technology or something to it. You know, I don't know. I'm making stuff up. So there you go. So we're still not seeing a single soul on this particular thing. I think broadcasting onto YouTube isn't that smart.
Okie dokie.
Well, that's why I'm kind of like sitting there going, I wonder if there's a way to I edit this broadcast. Huh. I guess I can edit. I wonder if what happened if I edited mid.